Does your child's plate look the same every single day? Are mealtimes a source of constant stress and anxiety in your home? You're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the world of autism and feeding challenges, a topic that affects so many families but is often misunderstood. We'll explore why many autistic individuals have such specific food preferences and how this can sometimes develop into a condition known as avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, or ARFID. So let's start with the why. Why are feeding difficulties so common in the autistic community? It's not just about being a picky eater. It's much more complex. A huge part of it comes down to sensory processing. For many autistic people, their senses are turned up to 11. The smell of a certain food might be overpowering, the texture of something soft or lumpy can feel genuinely unpleasant, and even the look of different foods touching on a plate can be overwhelming. Think about it. A seemingly simple piece of broccoli involves a strong smell, a complex texture with both soft and crunchy parts, and a vibrant color. For a sensitive sensory system, that's a lot to handle. This isn't a choice or a behavior issue. It's a genuine neurological response to sensory input. A child might gag at the texture of mashed potatoes, not to be difficult, but because the sensation in their mouth is truly distressing. They might only eat crunchy beige foods because those foods are predictable. They always taste the same, feel the same, and look the same. This predictability creates a sense of safety in a world that can often feel chaotic and overwhelming. Another key factor is a preference for routine and sameness. This is a core trait of autism. Change can be incredibly difficult, and this absolutely extends to food. Introducing a new food isn't just about trying a new taste. It's a disruption to a carefully established routine. The anxiety around this change can be immense, leading to a complete refusal to even try something new. Then there's the social aspect of eating. Mealtimes are often noisy, unpredictable social events. There's pressure to eat, to talk, to use utensils correctly. This social pressure can add another layer of anxiety, making the child associate mealtimes with stress rather than nourishment and connection. It's easy to see how a child might want to retreat to their few safe foods to avoid this entire stressful situation. Now, when do these feeding challenges cross the line from what we might call picky eating into a more serious condition? This is where ARFID comes in. ARFID stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. It's a recognized eating disorder, but it's very different from anorexia or bulimia. The key difference is that ARFID is not driven by a fear of gaining weight or by body image concerns. Instead, ARFID is characterized by a persistent failure to meet appropriate nutritional or energy needs. This avoidance is typically based on one of three things: a profound lack of interest in eating or food, an intense avoidance based on the sensory characteristics of food, or a fear of negative consequences from eating, like choking or vomiting, often stemming from a post-traumatic experience. So, what does ARFID look like in an autistic person? It might be a child who eats only 5 different foods, all of them a specific brand and texture. It could be an adult who has lost a significant amount of weight because their list of acceptable foods has become so small. It can lead to serious nutritional deficiencies, reliance on supplements or feeding tubes, and significant social impairment. Imagine never being able to eat at a friend's house, a restaurant, or a holiday dinner because you know there won't be any safe food for you. The isolation can be profound. It's crucial to understand that ARFID is not the parent's fault. You can't force or pressure a child out of ARFID. In fact, strategies like just one bite or withholding preferred foods can often make the anxiety and aversion much, much worse. It reinforces the idea that eating is a battle, a negative experience to be endured. This can strengthen the food refusal and damage the parent-child relationship around food. So, what can we do? The first and most important step is to seek professional help. If you suspect your child or someone you know has a RFID, talk to a pediatrician, a registered dietitian, an occupational therapist specializing in feeding, or a mental health professional. A proper diagnosis is key. They can rule out any underlying medical issues and help create a supportive, effective treatment plan. One of the most successful approaches is called responsive feeding therapy. This approach is all about taking the pressure off. It focuses on creating a positive, calm, and predictable mealtime environment. The goal isn't to get the child to eat a specific food right away, but to help them feel safe and comfortable around food. This might start with just having a new food on the table, then on their plate, then maybe touching it with a fork, and eventually maybe touching it with their fingers. It's a slow child-led process called food chaining or steps to eating. The focus is on exploration without expectation. We use play and curiosity. Can you build a tower with these carrot sticks? Can you use this green bean as a paintbrush in some yogurt? This approach, often used by occupational therapists, desensitizes the child to the sensory properties of the food in a fun, low-pressure way. It rewires the brain to see food as interesting and safe, not threatening. At home, you can support this process by involving your child in food preparation. Let them wash the vegetables, stir the batter, or use cookie cutters. This exposure in a non-eating context is incredibly valuable. Maintain a consistent mealtime routine. Eat at the same time in the same place each day. This provides the predictability that is so comforting. Always serve at least one safe food with every meal. This ensures your child knows there will always be something they can eat, which dramatically reduces mealtime anxiety. It takes the power struggle off the table. They are not forced to choose between eating a scary new food and going hungry. And most importantly, shift your mindset. Your goal is not to win the food battle. Your goal is to raise a child who has a healthy, peaceful relationship with food and their body. This means respecting their sensory needs and their limits. It means celebrating small victories, whether it's tolerating a new food on their plate or simply having a calm family meal. Remember, progress isn't linear. There will be good days and bad days. The key is patience, compassion, and consistency. You are your child's safe space. By creating a supportive and understanding environment, you can help them navigate their feeding challenges and build a foundation for a healthier future. If you are struggling, please know there is help and there is hope. Connect with support groups for parents of children with ARFID or autism. Hearing from others who understand can make a world of difference. Your journey is valid, and you are doing an incredible job. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on neurodiversity and parenting.